Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtake. Om Agnanati Virandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 12, verse 44. Maitreya Uvacha एतत् एतत् ते विहितं सर्वं यत्पृष्टोऽहम् इह त्वया ध्रुवस्योद्दाम यशसश्चरितं सम्मतं सताम्. Great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, whatever you asked from me about the great reputation and character of Dhruva Maharaj, I have explained to you in all detail. Great saintly persons and devotees very much like to hear about Dhruva Maharaj. Srimad Bhagavatam means everything in relationship with the Supreme Person of Godhead. Whether we hear the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Lord or we hear about the character, reputation, and activities of his devotees, they're all one and the same. Neophyte devotees simply try to understand the pastimes of the Lord and are not very interested in hearing about the activities of his devotees. But such discrimination should not be indulged in by any real devotee, meaning we should hear with equal interest pastimes of the Lord and character, reputation, activities of his devotees. Sometimes less intelligent men try to hear about the rasa dance of Krishna and do not take care to hear about other portions of Srimad Bhagavatam which they completely avoid. There are professional Bhagavata reciters who abruptly go to the Rasa Leela chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam as if other portions of Srimad Bhagavatam were useless. This kind of discrimination and abrupt adoption of the Rasa Leela pastimes of the Lord is not approved by the Acharyas. A sincere devotee should read every chapter and every word of Srimad Bhagavatam. For the beginning verses describe that it is the ripened fruit of all Vedic literature. Egama kalpataror galitam phalam. Galitam phalam. Ripened fruit. Devotee should not try to avoid even a word of Srimad Bhagavatam. The great sage Maitreya therefore affirmed herein that the Bhagavatam is sammatam satam, approved by great devotees. Uh, Yeah, so the important part here is that we should be always willing to hear about character, reputation, and activities of devotees. This should be of all great devotees, we should be willing to hear mm, without discrimination. Not that, we only, any great Vaishnava, be it directly our Diksha Guru or Shiksha Guru or, other senior Vaishnavas, everybody. If they are great devotees, then we should be willing to hear about their character, reputation, activities, and we should also be willing to glorify them. Simply by glorifying devotees, we get the mercy of the Lord because Krishna becomes pleased when his devotees are glorified, when his devotees are worshipped. Yeah. Dhanyam yashasyam ayushyam punyam swastyayanam mahat swargyam drauvyam taumanasyam prashasyam agamarsanam. By hearing the narration of Dhruva Maharaj, one can fulfill desires of for wealth, reputation, and increased duration of life. It is so auspicious that one can even go to a heavenly planet or attain Dhruvaloka, which was achieved by Dhruva Maharaj just by hearing about him. The demigods also become pleased because this narration is so glorious and it is so powerful that it can counteract all the results of one's sinful actions. There are different types of men in this world, not all of them are pure devotees. This verse is not for pure devotees. Some are karmis desiring to acquire vast wealth. And there are also persons who are only after reputation. Some desire to be elevated to the heavenly planets or go to the Dhruva Loka, and others want to please the demigods to get material profits. Herein it is recommended by Maitreya that every one of them can hear the narration about Dhruva Maharaj and thus get their desired goal. It is recommended that the devotees, Akama, Karmis, Sarvakama, and the Gnanis, Mokshakama, should all worship the Supreme Person of Godhead to acquire their desired goals of life. Similarly, if anyone hears about the activities of the Lord's devotee, he can achieve the same result. There is no difference between the activities and character of the Supreme Person of Godhead and those of his pure devotees. So, this shows that every house has to have Bhagavatam. Mm, because ultimately, our goal of, see, we cannot, mm, human beings cannot become desireless. They'll have material desires. Mm, until they become pure devotees. Now, what is the path to become pure devotees? Now, if their desires, sarvakama, if they are encouraged and they go to demigods to acquire them, then it will never diminish. Their desire, their entanglement will never come down. But we can trick them uh, to say, okay, sarvakama, even if you have all desires, no problem, come to Krishna. And what should be done? So we can give example of this Dhruva Maharaj pastime and say, see, if you have these desires, you can still read Bhagavatam. Now this is transcendental cheating. mm, Because once one comes to Bhagavatam and starts reading Bhagavatam, automatically his material desires will go away in period of over a period of time. We've heard like amazing stories about people who took Bhagavatam. Uh, so it is the most powerful because it is non-different from Krishna in Kali Yuga. Mm. So, when Krishna went, Swadhama Upagate, when he went to his Swadhama, where did Dharma take shelter of? Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Took shelter in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Srimad Bhagavatam should be there in each and every house. And to be able to do that, we can do this little bit of transcendental cheating. We can say, yeah, if you have whatever desires you want to be fulfilled, uh, Bhagavatam will come. It will make your house the greatest fortune you can get because Krishna is coming to your home. And when Krishna comes to your home, what will be left unfulfilled? Um, and then once Bhagavatam comes, then Bhagavatam will do its work. Mm. So yeah, but this we should understand. This verse is not for pure devotees. We are supposed to become pure devotees, and this is not for us. This is for other people who generally have desires. For them, Bhagavatam is absolutely recommended. That's why in the beginning only Paramahamsa, even Nirmatsaranam Satam, Vastam, Vedyam Vastam, Mastra Vastu Shivadam, Tapatrayon Moolanam, Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krute Kimba Parerishvara, Sadyo Hrudya Varudyate Trikritipi, Shushu Shubhistat Kshanat. So it is actually for Nirmatsara, for the Paramahamsas. But still, uh, Bhagavatam elsewhere also says, yeah, like others can also come and take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam has to be in every house. So please try. At least first of all, if any of you don't have Srimad Bhagavatam in your house, first you should. We don't say buy Srimad Bhagavatam because Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. So you can pray for Srimad Bhagavatam to grace your house, to come to your house. And we can enable that. You can let us know if in case you are um, you don't have Srimad Bhagavatam at home. Then we will make sure that you get Srimad. We can facilitate that. But not only just like yesterday I was telling like my mother distributed Bhagavatam at 82 years old. So I just told her saying that this is Kartik Mas, please try to distribute one set Bhagavatam to somebody. Then she called one of my cousins and spoke to her and then said, you take Bhagavatam. And it was some important timing for my cousin because house that she had gone, some 10th year, some celebrations, they were doing some puja, homa, yagna and all that. So very appropriately, Srimad Bhagavatam graced their house. So it's like that. So everybody has to try. We can't just keep, you know, can't just, like we said yesterday, everybody has to try to distribute this mercy. And the easiest way to distribute mercy is Srimad Bhagavatam. And we initially we used to think, oh, people are going to object, it's so expensive, that this and all that. That's all in our mind. People are just happy to accept Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should try. It's all the mind block is in our mind. It actually doesn't exist. So yeah, so we can please everybody try to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. Mm, yeah, and like I keep saying, if you don't think you can convince somebody to like give Lakshmi for that, you have money, you gift it, gift it. I'm sure everybody will have, can afford to give a gift of 8,000, 7,000, 8,000 rupees to somebody. If you really, I mean, like your own um, siblings, very close friends, etc., etc. One person you can gift at least. Mm. So it's very powerful. It can counteract all the results of one sinful actions, etc., etc. So many material benefits are there being listed here by Maitreya. Mm. So yeah, it should go to everybody, every home, every human being wants this. They want to live a happy life, and the only way to live a happy life is to come to Krishna. And then slowly they'll get purified and purified of all material desires. But yeah, that is why Bhagavatam says, Akama sarva kamo va moksha kamo udaradihi. Whatever desires you have, come to Krishna. Tutvai tachshadhaya bhikshnam achyuta priya cheshtitam bhaved bhaktir bhagavati yaya syat klesha sankshayaha. Anyone who hears the narration of Dhruva and who repeatedly tries with faith and devotion to understand his pure character attains the pure devotional platform. So this is for us, and executes pure devotional service. And by such activities, one can diminish the threefold miserable conditions of material life. Yeah. So if you execute pure devotional service, and then automatically, anyway, all this tapatraya, all the klesha will come to an end. So the previous verse was for non-devotees, and this is for devotees to come to the pure platform. So see the power of the this pastime. Not only it gives material benefit, it also gives supreme spiritual benefit. And that is the reason I assume that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was hearing Dhruva Maharaj pastime again and again. Mm. Here the word Achyuta Priya is very significant. Dhruva Maharaj's character and reputation are great because he's very dear to Achyuta, Supreme Person of Godhead. Mm. Mm. As the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Lord are pleasing to hear, hearing about his devotees who are very dear to the Supreme Person is also pleasing and potent. That is why we all have to read Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrita and what his disciples have written about him. We should read. And that is glorification of Srila Prabhupada. And it's very pleasing and potent. It's absolutely potent. One of my first big inspiration in Krishna consciousness was Lilamrita. Literally, when I was reading that, I had I was tears in my eyes. How much of suffering Srila Prabhupada went through. And then I was feeling I'm so comfortably situated, not wanting to do anything beyond, like my comfort zone. And here, Srila Prabhupada sacrificed literally so much, just for us. So it is potent. It's very, very potent. And one who reads Leelamrita with full intent, and then, their heart will change. They'll want to please Srila Prabhupada. And that is the most important thing. The most important quality we have to develop in ISKCON is to please Srila Prabhupada. Mm. One simply reads over and over again about Dhruva Maharaj. By hearing and reading this chapter, one can attain the highest perfection of life in any way he desires. Most importantly, gets the chance to become a great devotee. So this we can tell people. Prabhupada is saying, we are not saying. We can read this out to people, saying if one simply reads over and over again about Dhruva Maharaj, one can attain the highest perfection of life in any way he desires. Most importantly, he gets the chance to become a pure devotee. So this Prabhupada is only saying. So we can use this statement and tell people saying that, see, now get Srimad Bhagavatam and read. To become a great devotee means to finish all miserable conditions of materialistic life. miserable conditions. Of course, yeah, normal, yeah, devotees can expect to have little bit like self-preservation, little bit. Prabhupada said, you can live a comfortable life, not that we have to, uh, you know, we don't have to become so much renounced that we are not, yeah, like jnanis, not even eating prasadam or no, we can do all that, but yuktahara viharasya, everything in appropriate proportions, so that it doesn't become a deterrent in bhakti. But yeah, we can try to live simple, happy life, a Krishna conscious life. Mm, yeah, especially this for grihasthas, right? So because for sannyasis, they are okay, they are in whatever condition they are happy. Grihasthas want little comfort, okay, that's okay, but it doesn't have to be mm, opulent. Yeah, and of course, Prabhupada also said if somebody who has been opulent, generations of their families have been opulent, okay, that's the normal way of their life. It's okay because they're not going to get too hooked on to that opulence. Yeah, okay, it's part of. I've grown up in this environment, so it's okay. But for others, to whatever extent, generally they have, they're and so no need to try for some extra opulence and all that. Just yeah, comfortable life, food, nice, prasadam, whatever clothing, some shelter, etc. Whatever is required so that bhakti can be executed nicely. Generally, Bhagavatam just says self-preservation, but Prabhupada has also said somewhere saying that it's okay to live comfortably, meaning without just too many material problems around us. Yeah, try to live comfortably. But the goal is not to get rid of all material problems. The goal is to become a great devotee. And when we become a great devotee, automatically, anyway, material conditions, miserable conditions go off, so one lives comfortably. But at that stage, a great devotee is not really bothered whether he is staying comfortably or not. But for us today, in our, you know, partially conditioned state, we can say, yeah, okay. We also want some comfort in life. Okay, fine. Even for that, we have to worship Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, Krishna. And as we continue to to our bhakti intensely, then our desires for material, things will anyway gradually go off. महत्त्वमिच्छतां तीर्थं श्रोतुशीलादयो गुणाः यत्र तेजस्तदिच्छूनां मानो यत्र मनस्विनाम्. Anyone who hears this narration of Dhruva Maharaj acquires exalted qualities like him. See, this is very important. You can become a very great devotee. For anyone who desires greatness, prowess, or influence, here is the process by which to acquire them. And for thoughtful men who want adoration, here is the proper means. In material world, everyone is after profit, respectability, and reputation. Everyone wants the supreme exalted position. And everyone wants to hear about the great qualities of exalted persons. All ambitions which are desirable for great persons can be fulfilled simply by reading and understanding the narration of Dhruva Maharaj. So we can do one Bhagavata Saptaha with Dhruva Maharaj. One Bhagavata Saptaha with Prahlad Maharaj. Like this. And just one full week, just discuss about Dhruva Maharaj, all these various details. Yeah, because one has to read and understand the narration of Dhruva Maharaj's activities. So not just some katha and then some music and not like that, right? So deeply try to understand Dhruva Maharaj's activities in 7 days. And we can do like that. Uh, we can do anything based on Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, that authentic path that has been given by our acharyas. But we should not jump to esoteric parts of Bhagavatam. Whatever Prabhupada is clearly saying, right? We all great can be fulfilled simply by reading. So somehow we have to get people into Krishna consciousness. Yeah, we can do through Maharaj. Read about Dhruva Maharaj's activities as one event. प्रयत कीर्तयेत् प्रातः समवाये द्विजन्मनां सायं च पुण्यश्लोकस्य ध्रुवस्य चरितं महत्. A great sage Maitreya recommended one should chant of the character and activities of Dhruva Maharaj both in the morning and in the evening with great attention and care in a society of Brahmanas or other twice born persons. It is said that only in the association of devotees can one understand the importance of the character and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his devotees. Very difficult. Otherwise, our acharyas reveal so much of hidden treasure, secrets of all the leelas of both the Supreme Lord and his devotees. Otherwise, it's very difficult to understand. In this verse, it is especially recommended that Dhruva Maharaj's character be discussed in a society of the twice born, which refers to the qualified Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. One should especially seek the society of Brahmanas who are elevated to the position of Vaishnavas. Thus, discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam, which describes the character and pastimes of the devotees of the Lord, is very quickly effective. Only if you are, hearing, reading in the association of Vaishnavas, then it's quickly effective. ISKCON has been organized for this purpose. See, ISKCON has been organized for this purpose. So if there is no Shravanam Kirtanam in ISKCON, then it's not ISKCON. In every center of this society, not only in the morning, evening, or noon, but practically 24 hours a day, there's continuous devotional service going on. Anyone who comes in contact with the society automatically becomes a devotee. We have actually experienced that many karmis and others come to the society and find a very pleasing and peaceful atmosphere in the temples of ISKCON. In this verse, the word Janmanam means of the twice born. Anyone can join the International Society for Krishna Consciousness and be initiated to become twice born, as recommended by Sanatana Goswami by the process of initiation and authorized training. Please note this. This is the most important thing which unfortunately seems to be lacking today in ISKCON. This is going on, but then this is not going on. Authorized training is not going on. Any man can become twice born. So for somebody to become twice born, he requires training. The first birth is made possible by the parents, and the second birth is made possible by the spiritual father and Vedic knowledge. Unless one is twice born, one cannot understand the transcendental characteristics of the Lord and his devotees. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that we have to be only Brahmin initiated. Yeah, if one is Brahmin initiated, then it is very good. If that devotee is qualified to actually live like a Brahmana, then yes. But even otherwise, even if you're not Brahmin initiated, we should at least live like Brahmanas. Live, have those qualifications, then we can understand the transcendental characteristics of Lord and his devotees. And what does this mean? This actually means Brahma Bhuta, meaning being beyond the bodily platform. So Brahmana means actually beyond the bodily platform. One cannot call themselves a Brahmana and still remain on the bodily platform. Then it's not a Brahmana, because Brahmana means Brahman Janati iti Brahmana. So he knows Brahman. He knows that I'm not body, I'm spirit soul, and he lives on the platform of Brahman, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. He's Prasannatma. Na sochati na kankshati. He's not bothered about material conditions. He is the twice born Brahmana. Study of the Vedas is therefore forbidden for Shudras. Simply by academic qualifications, a Shudra cannot understand the transcendental science. In the present moment, throughout the entire world, the education system is geared to produce Shudras. Big technologies is no more than a big Shudra. Yeah. Kalau Shudra Sambhavaha. The age of Kali, everyone is a Shudra because the whole population of the world consists only of Shudras. There's decline of spiritual knowledge and people are unhappy. Why are people unhappy? Because of decline of spiritual knowledge, people are unhappy because they are more and more getting deeper and deeper stuck in this thought process that I am the body and I'm supposed to enjoy everything connected with the body. And that is not possible because this world is not designed for that, and hence they are unhappy. Krishna consciousness movement has been started especially to create qualified Brahmanas. Please note this. And what is the role of those qualified Brahmanas? To broadcast spiritual knowledge all over the world. For thus people may become very happy. So the whole idea we are trying to broadcast spiritual knowledge is to help people to become happy. Now for that, first we have to be happy. And when will we be happy? When we are not materially attached. Only then we will be happy. And then they will look at us and say, okay, these people seem to be happy. Okay, I also want to become happy like them. Okay, come, join. Come with us. Mm. Mm. And I see many devotees, when we have to, this is, general something that all of us have to do. Whenever we come in touch with new people, people who are not connected to ISKCON, We have to go out of our way to talk to them, make them feel comfortable. It doesn't matter whether they've come to our temple center or we have gone elsewhere to some program and then there are people, new people there. We should talk to them. I see so many devotees are so introvert, they don't even like speak a word. And what will people think? People think, "Arey, what is this? These people came and nobody spoke." It's not what is expected of devotees. We have to speak, and we have to speak nicely, make them feel comfortable, talk to them in their language. They should get connected to us. Otherwise, we can't just force, thrust spiritual knowledge onto them. The first step for preaching is to build a relationship, a rapport. And they should feel, when they interact with us, they should feel happy. And if we are not happy, how will they experience our happiness? Hmm. Devotees are not expected to become like, very serious and, like some, uh, when we are in the association of people, we have to deal with them appropriately so that they can feel, they can feel the effect of our Krishna consciousness. Uh, if we become, what is that word? Mm, what is the, what is that word? For, mm, what is that? Quality of not being too outspoken and
Reserve.
not reserved. Oh, just not getting. One of the qualities of a devotee is, uh,
धीर या प्रभु
no.
गंभीर प्रभु जी
Yeah, sober,
गंभीर
sober, sober. Yeah, sober, sober. We should not become sober. We should not become sober to an extent. Sober has to be inside, right? That we're not getting too affected by things, this, that, and all that. But the enthusiasm of Krishna consciousness has to be experienced by others. But I see more as devotees are, they themselves don't seem to be happy, right? And so when we go out and we meet people, etc., then yeah, they're saying, ah, I'm also like this. Yeah, they're also like this. So what is the difference? So we have to be happy, and that should be natural, and that will happen only if we are reading Srila Prabhupada's books every day, doing our sadhana nicely, right? And slowly and steadily getting. The other one more challenge actually I see devotees in the name of actually becoming disconnected or detached from material world. They create lot of problems within family, within relations, etc. They become like gnanis. We're like mm, completely cut off. We don't have to be like that. Yeah. But at the same time, we don't have to get influenced by other people. So people should look at devotees and say, ah, okay, I also want to become like him or her. It's very, very important actually. This one, we preach by our actions. We preach by our behavior. Mm. So we have to be happy, for which we have to follow the process properly. And then when people come in touch with us, they should also feel that happiness. We should feel the happiness. So we should learn to do this. Talk to people nicely and smile. We're not going to lose anything if we smile. Mm. We can remain sober, gambhir. We can be that when amongst devotees, okay, maybe because others might understand, saying that, oh, okay, yeah, very sober person. But with outside people, they're not going to understand all this. This is very, very important. Keep seeing devotees coming for various programs, and then new people come, go. Nobody speaks. Nobody speaks. Just we are just physically there. That's all. That's not much. That's not preaching. Please try to incorporate that. We don't have to be extroverts. We don't have to go sit on, take the mic and then speak and all that. But basic courtesy, basic, this basic human etiquette. somebody new coming to our house, we'll obviously be nice and speak to them nicely, right? That's all that is expected. Purnamasyam sinivalyam dvadashyam shravanethava dinakshaye vyatipate sankramer kadine piva Ravayet Shraddhadananam Tirthapada Necham Statratmanatmanam Santushta iti Siddhyati. Persons who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord should recite this narration of Dhruva Maharaj without taking remuneration. Specifically, recitation is recommended on the full moon or dark moon day, on the day after Ekadashi, on the appearance of the Shravana Nakshatra, the end of a particular Tithi, or the occasion of Vyatipata, at the end of the month, or on Sunday. Such recitation should, of course, be performed before a favorable audience. When recitation is performed this way without professional motive, the reciter and audience become perfect. Of course, we can chant, read every day. We can read every day. Professional reciters may ask money to extinguish the blazing fire with their bellies, within their bellies, but they cannot make any spiritual improvement or become perfect. It is therefore strictly forbidden to recite Srimad Bhagavatam as a profession to earn a livelihood. Strictly forbidden. Only one who is completely surrendered at the lotus feet of the Supreme Person of Godhead, depending fully on Him for personal maintenance or even for maintenance of his family, can attain perfection by recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is full of narration of the pastimes of the Lord and his devotees. So, Prabhupada is being very, very clear. One who is completely surrendered, depending fully on Him for personal maintenance or even for maintenance of his family. This doesn't mean that we are only those who are not earning qualify here. No, even if there are, if somebody is earning, but he doesn't think that he is responsible for personal maintenance or for maintenance of the family. Just living like a servant in the house of Krishna, and they can attain perfection. Even if they have not reached the stage, by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we will come to that stage. I shared this some time back. I think one big trigger in my life to move from whatever my previous corporate working condition to full-time service was Srimad Bhagavatam. At one point of time, I used to read Srimad Bhagavatam for 3 to 4 hours every day, and when I was reading 3 to 4 hours, automatically looks like it had major impact on my thinking and my and so Krishna made it happen. Right, so Bhagavatam is like that. Even if you don't have any of these qualifications, simply reading it sincerely, mm, continuously, it will have its impact. And one who is in this stage, he can attain perfection. So Srimad Bhagavatam will help us to come to this stage, and then further it will take us to perfection. And I've told this multiple times, saying that chanting Hare Krishna is the most powerful process, but because we do Namaparada, we don't make progress. But it's not so with Srimad Bhagavatam, because it's full of narrations of pastimes of the Lord and his devotees, and we will be nicely absorbed and interested in hearing. So it will actually act more powerful, and then slowly, steadily, our chanting also will become nice, because of Srimad Bhagavatam, because of association with Srimad Bhagavatam. The process can be summarized as follows. The audience must be faithfully receptive to the Bhagavata message, and the reciter should completely depend on the Supreme Person of Godhead. Bhagavata recitation must not be a business. If done in the right way, not only does the reciter achieve perfect satisfaction, but the Lord also is very satisfied with the reciter and the audience, and thus both are liberated from material bondage simply by the process of hearing. Of course, this is not like this 7 days and then after that you continue to do whatever nonsense. Not like that. Continuous hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam and trying to follow instructions that have been given by acharyas in Srimad Bhagavatam by Krishna, and then one can become perfect, one can become liberated. Jnanam agnata tattvaya yodadyat satpathemratam kripalordinanathasya devastasyanugrinhate. The narration of Dhruva Maharaj is a sublime knowledge for the attainment of immortality. See, persons unaware of the absolute truth can be led to the path of truth. Those who out of transcendental kindness take on the responsibility of becoming master protectors of the poor living entities automatically gain the interest and blessings of the demigods. becoming master protectors of the poor living entities by distributing this great knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam. Gnanam Agnata means knowledge which is unknown almost throughout the entire world. No one knows actually what is the absolute truth. Materialists are very proud of their advancement in education, philosophical speculation, scientific knowledge, but no one actually knows what the absolute truth is. Great sage Maitreya therefore recommends that to enlighten people about the absolute truth, Tattva, devotees should preach the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam throughout the entire world. Srila Vyasadeva especially compiled this great literature of scientific knowledge because people are completely unaware of the absolute truth. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, it is said that Vyasadeva, the learned sage, compiled this great Bhagavata Purana just to stop the ignorance of the mass of people. Because people do not know the absolute truth, this Srimad Bhagavatam was especially compiled by Vyasadeva under the instruction of Narada. Generally, even though people are interested in understanding the truth, they take to speculation and reach at most conception of impersonal Brahman, but very few men actually know the personality of God. Recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam is specifically meant to enlighten people about the absolute truth, Supreme Person of Godhead. Although there is no fundamental difference between impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and the Supreme Person, factual immortality cannot be obtained unless and until one attains the stage of associating with the Supreme Person. Devotional service which leads to the association with the Supreme Lord is actual immortality. Pure devotees, out of compassion for the fallen souls, are Kripalu, very kind to people in general. They distribute this Bhagavata knowledge all over the world. If we can't do all over the world, we can do all over our world, if it's possible. Meaning our life, our relatives, our friends, etc. Kind-hearted devotee is called Deenanatha. Krishna is called Deenanatha. Kind-hearted devotee is also called Deenanatha, protector of the poor, ignorant mass of people. Lord Krishna is also known as Deenanatha or Deenabandhu, master of actual friend of the poor living entities. And his pure devotee also takes the same position of Deenanatha. So we have to take this position and distribute this most valuable knowledge, distribute Srimad Bhagavatam to people. The Deenanathas or devotees of Lord Krishna who preach the path of devotional service become the favorites of the demigods. See? If we become favorites of demigods, demigods will also help us. Generally, people are interested in worshipping the demigods, especially Lord Shiva, in order to obtain material benefits. But a pure devotee who engages in preaching the principles of devotional service, as described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, does not need to separately worship the demigods. The demigods are automatically pleased with him and offer all the blessings within their capacity. As by watering the root of a tree, the leaves and branches are automatically watered, so by executing pure devotional service to the Lord, the branches, twigs, and leaves of the Lord, known as demigods, are automatically pleased with the devotee and offer all benediction. So this is, we don't have to worry at all, right? We have to be very convinced. Just by coming to Krishna, we don't have to go to any demigods. But Prabhupada is saying even by distributing, by engaging in preaching the principles of devotional service, also get the same blessings. Anyway, so the most important thing is Deenanatha. We have to become Deenanatha. Kripalu. Distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, we end. Idam maya te bihitam kurudvaha dhruvasya vikhyata vishuddha karmanah hitvarbakha Kridanakani matur gruham cha vishnum charanam yo jagama. Transcendental activities of Dhruva Maharaj are well known all over the world and they're very pure. In childhood, Dhruva Maharaj rejected all kinds of toys and playthings, left the protection of his mother, and seriously took shelter of the Supreme Person of Godhead Vishnu. My dear Vidura, I therefore conclude this narration, for I have described to you all its details. It is said by Chanakya Pandita that life is certainly short for everyone, but if one acts properly, his reputation will remain for a generation. As the Supreme Person of Godhead, Krishna is everlastingly famous. Others can become famous for one generation, but Krishna is everlastingly famous. So the reputation of Lord's devotee is also everlasting. Therefore, in describing Dhruva Maharaj's activities, two specific words have been used, Vikhyata and Vishuddha. Vikhyata, very famous. Vishuddha, transcendental. Dhruva Maharaj's leaving home at a tender age and taking shelter of the Supreme Person of Godhead in the forest is a unique example in this world. Thus we end the narration of pastimes of Dhruva Maharaj. Okay. Anybody has any comments, questions, please? Nothing, I guess. Okay. So we'll stop here. Yeah, Darshan Prabhu. Yeah.
Chanting is
Loudly.
also a
Loudly, please.
chanting is also a service, no?
Chanting is also service, yes. Chanting is also service. Sorry, I'm not able to hear you.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay. Everything is a service, right? But just that even amongst the service, something is classified as sadhana and the others are classified as service. Just to make sure that this service, the sadhana service, has to happen every day. That's why it's called sadhana. But actually, everything is service.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Okay. We'll see what whether we continue with prachetas or some. I will just see and tell. Maybe tomorrow is Saturday. One day I don't want to start a new pastime. Okay, let's see what we can do tomorrow. Okay, so we'll stop here. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.